Welcome to the daily edition of Crypto for the Rest of Us. For those of you that may not be as technical as an individual who's programming the blockchain, but you want to get involved in crypto because, like me, you believe this is the future and you want to get in on the ground floor. So every day I bring up a tip, tool, or analysis of a coin. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Take a look at this chart, and particularly, I should say, the various ways in which you can track what's happening in the market, what might be happening, just to give you some ideas of what's going on behind the scenes. I always look at TradingView, the Bitcoin chart here. As you can see, it's been trending sideways, as you're probably fully aware, for a while. I've got on here a 200-day, I've got it on the daily, 200-day moving average. It's been above that for a while. This is the peak of the last run for all-time high, and it's basically bouncing above and below the peak of all-time high. Okay. Down here on the bottom, you can just see the top of it here. This is the on-balance volume. So essentially looking at subtracting volume on a down day and adding volume on an up day. So I'm a huge believer in volume precedes price. When you've got consolidation, you've got the buyers, you've got the sellers, and then at some point you will hit an equilibrium and you're going to end up going one way or the other because you've got either way more sellers or way more buyers. So you often will see volume push higher before the price actually starts to move. This is never financial advice, just my opinion. Okay, so we're looking at the chart and we're seeing volume just sort of trending sideways. But I wanted to show you today, and I'm going to put a link to this on Dune. This individual created a tool to look at the Bitcoin ETF flows. And it has a lot of information here. I'll show you how to use this. It's interesting. First, note that these various charts that they have will have information in either dollars or in Bitcoin. And what's nice about this, if you look at the flows here and you see all of the different spot ETFs, you can turn them all off, which is what I like to do. And you can add in, if you want to look at a particular ETF, you can see their flows. You can see, if we look at all, and I always eliminate grayscale. What's interesting here is back in the beginning of the year, if you look at this, we got January, February, March, right here up through into April. But January, February, March, that is quite a huge volume for the inflows. And then it's gone down, and this is what? End of March, April, May. Decent, but probably about average or less than average, considering what happened at the beginning of the year. And then, boom. Notice this spike here, June 4th. Or June 5th, maybe? June 4th, June 5th? June 5th, I guess. BlackRock, 278 million in that one day. Look how much all of this adds up. So this is interesting to me, because I like to see what's being pushed, which funds being pushed, but more importantly, as a whole, do we have more volume? And that doesn't mean things are going to spike or skyrocket, but it could be the beginning, because this is quite a bit of amount of money inflowing in, which means when that money goes into those funds, they got to go buy the corresponding amount of Bitcoin. You can go down here and you can see how they compare to one another, to see who's bringing in the most and how much. These are on-chain. Oh, this is on-chain holdings, the amount of Bitcoin that they hold, and this is in Bitcoins. They've got many stats. I like this one. Let's see. This is their assets under management. You can see, we can turn everything off and you can go. I always look at BlackRock, for example, and Fidelity. I believe they're the biggest. BlackRock there is over 30% of the market. Fidelity is about 20 or so. Yeah, here you go. So this is interesting. It'll show you that BlackRock's got 33.8% and Fidelity has 19.9%. Between the two of them, that's over 50% of the Bitcoin market right there with those two funds. Good to watch. As we move down, they've got Bitcoin ETFs just in Bitcoin, same thing. You can see recent flows, money in, money out. Bitcoin supply backing ETFs change, Bitcoin supply. I wanted to show one thing here though, on-chain holdings, Bitcoin ETFs and money. You can come down here, you can turn this one off. Let's go over and look at Fidelity. Fidelity is showing that on June 11th, there are about 12 billion in holdings. Okay. As with any statistic, as with any one of these tools, I like to fact check. So I hopped over to Fidelity to take a look at their fund, which is the FBTC. And you can obviously see all of the stats. We go down here, there you go, net assets, just over 11 billion as of 5/31. So we go back here and they're saying, okay, well, as of June 11th, they had even more inflows and they're at almost 12 billion here. So 5/31, let's see how close they were. 5/31 is showing 11.1 billion. So this tool is showing that Fidelity's got 11.1 billion as of 5/31. And if we look at their site as of 5/31, they're showing 11.08 billion. So there you go. At least with that data point, it's accurate. You can actually, what's fascinating about doing is you can click in and you can actually see the code behind the queries of all of this. But you don't need to do that if you just want to watch Bitcoin. So why do I use this? I use this as another tool to see what's going on generally in the Bitcoin market. Here are the ETF flows in dollars, and there was a spike recently. There might be more. So that's it for today. I'm going to put a link down to this Doom tool. As I believe you should always look at as many different tools as you can to get as much data as you can around whatever asset it may be. This is just the Bitcoin ETFs to give you an idea of what might be happening to Bitcoin and the trajectory of the market. And then if you can find a way, like I just showed, to just kind of verify that the data is even correct. Because there's a lot of tools out there and you never really know. Thanks for watching, and let's make generational wealth together through crypto. Have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.